All right. Good morning. This morning we are continuing our study of question 141 of the Westminster Larger Catechism, which asks, what are the duties required in the Eighth Commandment? The Eighth Commandment, as you recall, is thou shalt not steal. The duty associated with it that we will be focusing on this morning is rendering to everyone his due. Rendering to everyone his due. The text provided by the Westminster Divines regarding this duty is Romans 13, verse 7, which says, pay to all what is owed to them. Taxes to whom taxes are owed. Revenue to whom revenue is owed. Respect to whom respect is owed. Honor to whom honor is owed. We owe everyone something, but we do not owe everyone the same things. We owe certain things to certain people and certain amounts of certain things to some that we do not owe to others. King Alfred the Great summarized it well when he said it this way: give not little to whom you should give much, nor much to whom little, nor nothing to whom something, nor something to whom nothing. That's the way they talked back then. So to get you caught up, give not little to whom you should give much. Don't shortchange anyone. Nor much to whom little. Don't flatter. Don't give people more than what they actually deserve. Nor nothing to whom something. If you owe something to somebody, don't give them, just ghost them and give them nothing. Nor something to whom nothing. Do not give quarter to sin. Do not give anything to that. If we do not render a man what or how much he is due, we are stealing from them. Theft is not just taking what isn't ours, it is withholding what ought to be given. In fact, our word, ought, comes to us from the Old English word agon, which means to owe, the past tense of which is ought, A-H-T-E. So when you owe somebody something, you owe it to them, you ought to do it. The moral obligation comes from the fact that you owe them, that you owed it to them. So whenever you ought to do something, it is because you owe it to them. We are, by God's design, indebted people. We are indebted. We are born with bills to pay. Before you do anything, you have a bill waiting for you. You owe your parents for bringing you into this world, and you owe God for life, breath, and everything else. And all that before you even take your first step, you owe somebody something. So if we are to render to everyone his due, we must consider the various duties and debts that God has placed into our accounts. Any one of these could warrant its own exhortation, but in the interest of time and in an effort to render unto you what is owed, not hitting the mic, what is owed to you, which is an exhortation and not a second sermon, I will try to be brief. So, fathers, you owe your children provision. 2 Corinthians 12:14. If you do not provide for them, you are stealing from them, and you are worse than an unbeliever. 1 Timothy 5:8. You also owe them discipline, instruction, and a Christian education. Ephesians 6:4. If you do not take the time to train them in the way they should go, you are a thief. If you do not give your children encouragement, you are robbing them. Colossians 3:21. You owe them good language. Fathers, you owe your children good language. Your sons need to know that you are proud of them, and you have to use the words and say it. Your daughters need to know that you think they are beautiful. You have to use the words and tell them that. They only have one dad. Do not deprive them of their own father. Mothers, you owe your children a well-managed home. 1 Timothy 5:14. If you are too busy with outside engagements to keep up with your domestic duties, you are robbing your own people. Titus 2:5. If you are short with your people because you are worn out from being kind to strangers, you are a domestic terrorist. Proverbs 14, verse 1. You are tearing down your own house. You cannot be everything to everyone, mothers, but you are everything to your littlest ones. You owe them the best of your good works. Proverbs 31, 27, and 28. You are the only mom they will ever have. Do not be the one who takes her from them. Parents, you owe your children unity. Ephesians 6:1. When a child hears, honor your father and mother, he should not have to ask which one. You owe them the ability to obey that. You owe your children a united front. They deserve a stable home where mom and dad are on the same team. So, do what it takes to get on the same page with your spouse, and then do what it takes to stay on the same page. Do not let your selfishness steal your children's sense of security. Children, You owe honor to your parents. Ephesians 6:1. You owe your parents honor. You owe it to them. If you do not honor your parents, you are stealing from your parents. God picked them out for you. Acts 17:26. When you honor your earthly father and mother, you honor your Father in heaven. Ephesians 3:14. So if you withhold honor from them, you are stealing from your parents and you are robbing God. Husbands, you owe your wife love and attention. Ephesians 5:33. If you do not take the time to love your wife, you are stealing from her. You owe her affection. There is a kind of attention and affection she can only lawfully get from you. Do not rob her of it. If you are giving that kind of attention or affection to other women, you are robbing from your wife. You owe her love that takes initiative, pursues her, and lavishes her, the way you did when you tried to win her in the first place. You owe her that kind of care and concern still. Ephesians 5:25. Just as you seek to meet your own needs, seek to meet hers. Ephesians 5:28. You must understand your wife. You owe her your ears. Hear her out, or God will stop listening to you. 1 Peter 3:7. Wives, you owe your husband respect. Ephesians 5:33. If you do not honor him as your head, you are stealing from him. You owe him loyalty. Ephesians 5:22. There is a kind of help that he can only get from you. You are his helper. Do not rob him of her. If you're too busy helping others to have time to ask him what he needs, you are robbing from him. You owe him allegiance. 1 Peter 3:1 and 5. You owe him submission and obedience. Ephesians 5:24. Colossians 3:18. You owe him affection. Do not withhold from him the comfort that only you can provide. Proverbs 5:19. You owe him a good reputation. Proverbs 31:23. So speak well of him to others. Promote him before them, and God will promote you. Proverbs 31:31. Spouses, you owe each other your bodies. 1 Corinthians 7:3. Hebrews 13:4. Husbands, you owe your wife access to your muscle. If she is a godly woman, you are the only man whose strength she can look to. Wives, you owe your husband access to your body. If he is a godly man, you are the only woman for whom he has eyes. And if he doesn't get to see or hold you, he will not get to see or hold anyone. Do not rob each other. Be generous. You owe each other regular intimacy. 1 Corinthians 7:5. Young men, you owe everyone self-control. Do us a favor and just get it under control, guys. to punctuate the point, 1 Timothy 5:1, Titus 2:6, 1 Peter 5:5, etc. If you are spending your strength on self-interest, you are stealing from the rest of us. Young men, you are the strongest people in the world. No one is stronger than a young man. Put it to the use of the glory of God and the good of your neighbors. Be strong and be under control. Be as strong on the inside as you are on the outside. You owe us that. You owe us your strength. You must not spend your strength on strange women or foolish pursuits. Proverbs 7:26, Proverbs 31, verse 3, 2 Timothy 2:22. You owe older men humility, older women charity, younger women security, and younger men fraternity. 1 Timothy 5:1. Young ladies, you owe everyone modesty. 1 Timothy 2, 9 through 10, Titus 2, verse 5. If you are flaunting your beauty or using it for your own self-interest, you are robbing the rest of us. You are the most beautiful people in the world, young ladies. There's no one more beautiful than a young lady. Put it to use for the glory of God and the good of your neighbors. Be beautiful, but adorn it with good works. Be as beautiful on the inside as you are on the outside. 1 Peter 3, 3 and 4. You owe us that. Stay pure, and do not stir up or awaken love until it pleases. Song of Solomon 2:7, 3:5, and 8:4. Be as terrible as an army with banners, young lady. Be hard to catch. Be a wall and not a door. Do not rob your parents of that peace of mind. Song of Solomon 6:10 and 8:10. And what more shall I say? For time would fail me to tell of the duties of sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, in-laws, elders, deacons, members, employers, employees, citizens, soldiers, governors, judges, juries, teachers, students, rich, poor, strong, healthy, sick, weak, loud, quiet, fast, slow, etc. The list goes on. But we all owe somebody something, and God has made us who we are, and whatever we are, we owe to somebody. If you're quiet, you owe your quietness to them. Contribute your quietness. If you are loud, contribute your loudness. Don't dominate everyone with it. We all owe somebody something. The point is this: regardless of who you are, you owe somebody something, and God calls you to pay your debts and to leave no outstanding balances. Romans 13, 8 and 9, the verse after the one the divine cited today, says it this way: owe no one anything except to love one another. That is the only thing that should be left, is just to love them. For the one who loves has fulfilled the law. For the commandments: you shall not commit adultery, you shall not murder, you shall not steal, today's one, you shall not covet, and any other commandment are all summed up in this: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself, and you will cease from robbing them. You will give them what they deserve. So pay what you owe, and you likely owe somebody something. And if you have been stealing, and now you are feeling the weight of that after hearing that list, do not let it end with a vague sense of guilt. You owe something else. You owe them to do something about it. You do not pay them back by feeling bad about it and then walking out and congratulating yourself for feeling bad about it. You still owe them something. So make a plan and pay what you owe. Do not withhold anything to whom you owe it. Proverbs 3:27. Begin here in a few minutes by confessing it to God, and then make haste to make it right with the one that you have been robbing from. Matthew 5:25. Perhaps in hearing this list, you've been reminded of something somebody owes you. You heard a list, something in there, and you're like, yeah, somebody owes me something. Maybe I pricked the wrong thing. And now you're feeling slighted, neglected, underpaid, cheated, undervalued. If that is the case, you still owe something. You owe them your forgiveness. You owe them forgiveness, and perhaps a direct conversation. Instead of stewing on it and just thinking about it, if you can't let it go, maybe you need to talk to them about it. Matthew 18, verses 15 and 22. If someone has withheld something they owe, you will not balance the account by withholding forgiveness from them. You will not balance accounts by withholding in return. So, if that is you this morning, confess your bitterness and then be forgiven by God of all your debts, and then go out and extend that forgiveness to those who are your debtors. Since we are so often in the place of withholding from those we owe, or paying less than we should, we are reminded of our duty to regularly confess our sins, and whether they be these or others. If you are able at this point, please kneel with me and confess your sins first privately, and then corporately using the prayer found in your bulletin.